I was playing with Denver. You can be the first one to leave college early and play in the pros. I was like, you gonna pay? So I left after my sophomore year. And even though I was an All-American first team with Kareem, Pete Maravich, Calvin Murphy, all of us was on the first team All-American team in college. I left and went to the ABA, and the ABA says, well, this gamut would work if you can get 7 points and 5 rebounds a game for this season, and this would be a good move for us. And we can then usurp the draft and get all the young guys to come into the ABA before they go into the
NBA. So they were trying to use it as a leveraging tool.
Leveraging tool. So I went in there and averaged 30 points. I bust out that season, and then I was the MVP, Rookie of the Year, leading scorer, leading rebounder, MVP of the All-Star game. 19 years old, just turned 20. And so I went into the ownership, and we said, well, look, they said, we're going to give you a contract. So they gave me a fraudulent contract, a Bernie Madoff contract, where I was going to get my bulk of my money from age 50 to age 70.
What?
Providing if I would stay with the company and drive trucks. I know. I said, well, oh my God, I didn't have an attorney. I was like just a young guy taking everything in and believing that they were going to take care of me. So Al Ross come in, he's my young Jewish lawyer, he come in, I'll straighten it. You know, I got this. So we go into the office with the owners of the team, who are these truckers, the Denver Rockets, who are Rocket Service, which is the Denver Nuggets today. So we go in and we sit down and we're like, yeah, we like to straighten this contract up and we like to do this. So the owner sit there and he looked at us and he said, I tell you what I want you two sons of to do. Spencer, you take out of here and take that Jewish lawyer with you. Get out of my office. You can't go back to college because you're ineligible. You can't go to the NBA because you're underclassmen, so you're stuck with me.
This is to Mr. Storm. This is what he said to you.
No, that Mr. Storm, Hannah Storm's dad, he was the agent who put us all together. This was J.W. Ringsby, who owned the Denver Rockets, and he owned a franchise here. So then Sam Schulman, who owned the Seattle Supersonics, and Jerry Colangelo, who owned the Phoenix Suns, they had the idea, we're going to, because the ABA was raiding the NBA with players, so he said, let's raid the ABA guys. Every time they get an MVP, we're going to steal him and bring him to the NBA. But the one problem with me, they got Connie Hawkins to go to Phoenix, and then I was the next MVP, so I was underclassed still. I had one more year left. Sam Schulman said, you know, what are we going to do? And I said, I want to play. And Sam Schulman said, well, I'm going to teach you about Jewish loyalty. I'm going to put up the finance for your case all the way through. And I don't care how far it goes, we're going to fight this. The case maneuvered its way all the way to the Supreme Court. And when it got to the Supreme Court, Thurgood Marshall was on the court. He was one of the justices on the court. And he kept saying, you know, it's ironic this case is not affecting tennis players, hockey players, baseball players, and he kept going on with different sports. And he said, man, now, ironically, it's only the 2 revenue sports in college that this rule is affecting. And so he said, you know, we're sending our soldiers to Vietnam at age 18. They're coming back maimed and hurt and sick and dying. But yet you got a player whose mother is picking cotton in Silver City, Mississippi for $2 a day. My mother was at that time. But yet he make all of this money for the Olympics. He made all of this money for the university. He made all of this money for the ABA. And yet he can't make a living in the NBA. And so that's when the justice got together and they said they came back 7-2 in favor of me. And that's when the case was over, March 1st, 1971. And then the next round was, let's go play.